Hey everyone, coming out of the lair and going out on the road, taking a look back at what I've accomplished and what I'm going to be looking to accomplish. So, right now, this is going to be a year in review. So, sit back, relax, take a look at the 12 I made this past year, and then we'll see where we go from here. Branching out from my Atari VCS review, I created this game review show stemming from a library of 5,000 plus games I have in my collection. Each review will usually have a theme attached to it. Starting off, I started with Kangaroo, which was a game dedicated to Mother's Day and for all the mothers in the world, especially as this game was a dedication to moms. Going on to the next video was Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for the Atari VCS, or 2600 as it was known then, a dedication to Star Wars Day. This is a dedication to Missile Command, which was for my father to celebrate Father's Day. My selections also will not be limited to just the Atari 2600, as I also decided to branch out and take a look at arcade classics of the same name. As I went further with this video, I also decided to cover the arcade version of Missile Command and look at the differences between the home version and the arcade version. Arcade version was definitely a different animal compared to the home version, which only had one gun to operate. I can also wind up covering current events with the video, especially as covering Galaga, Galaxian, and Xevious was kind of a dedication to COVID-19 vaccinations. And sometimes I'll view an obscure game like Konami's Kicker, which never really translated over to home ports or anywhere, but still like a fun novelty, as I just really get a kick out of the death animation in this game. Also can come into play a holiday, as I wound up reviewing Atari's Haunted House. If a movie or franchise comes up, I'll also give my thoughts on that, as I gave thoughts on the Ghostbusters franchise, and I asked a little bit of a hard question on power and responsibility when Spider-Man for the Atari 2600 was reviewed as well. But also action heroes can come into play, as I wound up viewing Die Hard for Christmas. Oh, P.S. My cousin says that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, so by her definition, this would not be a Christmas game. A theme of firsts, as I wound up reviewing Radar Scope for Nintendo, but also Donkey Kong, which was really its first popular game. Love is in the air when I decided to review Atari's Popeye, reviewing the arcade classic, also the Atari game variant. I also decided to show the Coleco version a little bit of love, which kind of backfired me on it having a trollish comment, but to be fair, I went into that game cold. And finally, reviewing Nintendo's version, which was a better play. And at the year's end, we view Atari Starship, a tribute to my brother, who celebrated a birthday, and also a fun game in which to play. It's also a lesson on how good a game actually is, and just because it is old does not mean you throw it away. Okay, we've seen the 12 I've made. What comes next? You're probably wondering what that other photo in my thumbnail meant, where I wasn't exactly looking all that happy. Well, I had that picture made ahead of time in case I ran across a bad game that I absolutely did not like. I have not needed that picture yet, but if I can get something off of my to-do list, I just may find myself needing that picture real soon. Okay, now you'll notice this is page 1 of my to-do list. I just recently completed Starship, so I gotta mark that one as done. You'll also notice Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is also on my list and not listed as done. Well, that one is on my to-do list, and it might be on my to-do list for some time. There's some stuff on that video I want to do. It also would require a major time commitment that I would have to find time for. And I think I might also want to make this a comedy video along the lines of The Nerd. So that will involve a lot of scripting, a lot of polish, and maybe some extra talent that I might want to get on hand. But regardless, I am going to want to put in the most time and the most work and the most effort in this game, as this is a game that has a pretty notorious reputation, and I want to make the most of it. This is page 2, which gives more on my list of stuff I want to put on my to-do list. It also indicates 5 that I have done: Xevious, Popeye, Radar Scope, Ghostbusters, and the Die Hard video, which I did not get as much as I had hoped I would get. I do have others on this list that I want to tackle. Alien, Mazinger Z, which was Tranzor Z in America, Snoopy and the Red Baron, and the Airwolf games, 1 in arcade and 2 home versions. I'd love to take those on. And again, part 3, have the Airwolf listing above. Next on my list I want to do is the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi arcade games. I plan to do those for the next May the 4th be with you. I also kind of want to look into the Telegames trilogy. Those were 3 games that were made under a Sears name that were only distributed through Sears stores. And also Super Mario Brothers, the Donkey Kong series, and also a little tribute to teachers with Atari Education series. Also currently to date, I want to review Super Mario Bros. 2, which was released for American audiences. I also want to review the original Super Mario Bros. 2, which to American audiences is considered Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. And I also want to review the original game that our Super Mario Bros. 2 was based on, Doki Doki Panic. Well, that's it. So, soon I'll be going back into the lair and starting my work on my next 2 videos. Next one I hope to have up and ready by May the 4th be with you. Take care. Don't forget to click and subscribe.